The game between the Toronto Raptors and the San Antonio Spurs will be a fundamental battle of philosophies. It's a war for tempo. On one side, you have the Raptors, a high-octane, chaotic, and relentless offensive machine. On the other, the Spurs, a team that by necessity must be methodical, precise, and play through their one-man fortress. The team that gets to play their style of basketball tonight wins. It's that simple. Let's break down this strategic clash. First, let's define chaos. The Toronto Raptors want to turn this game into an absolute track meet. Pace 108.1, second in NBA. Points in the paint 70.0, second in NBA. Assists 30.5, fourth in NBA. This isn't random chaos, it's weaponized chaos. Their identity is built on a simple formula: run. They are second in the league in pace. They use their league-leading ball movement, piloted by Immanuel Quickley, to create downhill opportunities for their primary weapons. Scottie Barnes is the do-it-all engine, and RJ Barrett is the battering ram. Their goal is to get to the rim over and over and over until you break. They score 70 points a game in the paint. They want to beat you with 1,000 layups. Their weakness? They're dead last in three-pointers. This team cannot win a slow, half-court shooting contest. They must run. Now, let's define methodical. The San Antonio Spurs, who just beat the Nets to move to a perfect 3-0, are playing a completely different sport. But don't let that 3-0 record fool you into thinking this is the team they want to be. Their real story, the reason for their style, is this injury report. This forces the Spurs to be methodical. They have to slow the game down because they don't have a veteran point guard who can navigate through the chaos and settle their plays. Their entire offense becomes predictable, but predictably dominant. It's built on one simple plan: give the ball to Victor Wembanyama and get out of the way. This creates two massive keys to victory, and they're both tied to this clash of styles. First, the war for tempo. This is the whole game. The Raptors must force turnovers and get easy, fast break points. Immanuel Quickley has to be the engine of this chaos. He needs to relentlessly attack the Spurs' backup guards, break down the defense, and create mayhem. If the Spurs can limit live ball turnovers and force the Raptors into a half-court game, they win this battle. The unstoppable force versus the immovable object. This is what happens when the chaos stops. When the Raptors are forced into the half-court, their entire identity, scoring 70 points in the paint, runs headfirst into the Spurs' entire defensive identity. Victor Wembanyama. Wemby is the reason the Spurs can play this methodical style. He's averaging 34 points, 13 rebounds, and has 12 blocks in 2 games. He erases every mistake at the rim. Can Scottie Barnes and RJ Barrett find a way to score against a one-man defensive scheme, or will Wembanyama force the NBA's worst three-point shooting team to try and beat him from the outside? So who wins this clash of styles, the chaos or the control? Now let's be clear, the injuries to Fox and Sohan hurt. That's the Raptors' biggest advantage, and they will try to run this short-handed Spurs team off their own floor. But this is where the Spurs' methodical approach, born from necessity, becomes their greatest weapon. This game isn't about who isn't playing for San Antonio. It's about the one man who is. Victor Wembanyama is the ultimate equalizer. He is a one-man chaos killer. Think about it. The Raptors' entire identity is scoring 70 points in the paint. Wembanyama's entire identity is making the paint a no-fly zone. He can single-handedly short-circuit their whole offense. If Wemby takes away the rim, he forces Toronto into their fatal flaw, shooting. This is the NBA's worst three-point shooting team. That is not a recipe for a road win. The Spurs will absolutely grind this game to a halt, and Wembanyama is going to put on a show. It won't be a track meet, it will be a clinic. The Raptors' defense is average at best, and they simply have no answer for him. I'm betting on the generational talent and home court control to overcome the injuries. I'm taking the Spurs to win this battle of wills.